All right, folks, welcome back to the Creation Science Hour and a Half. Kent Hovind, Jonathan Sampson live this August 23rd, 2005. And we're defending the position the Bible is literally true and scientifically accurate, and the evolution theory is the dumbest theory or religion, actually, in the history of the world. And you can call in after Jared's done here at 850-479-DINO, 850-479-3466, extension 136. And Jared sent me a picture from, what was the website again, Jonathan?
It was, I believe, probably his personal math account on the Dartmouth server.
Okay. Yeah. And you said that the four pictures show a relationship that is undeniable, ambulocetus, etc., is going to be another intermediate. Jonathan, the article, if you couldn't find it, is trueorigin.org/NG_Wales. 01.
Yeah, but that's just one of the articles. There's two of them on there.
Okay. So, here's what they say about ambulocetus. Do you have it there, Jonathan?
I've got it up. I'm just looking over stuff.
Okay. National Geographic's reconstruction of ambulocetus. National Geographic's little manipulation.
Can I stop you for a second?
Sure.
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Okay.
We're not talking about reconstruction.
Okay, you sent me four pictures.
That are not reconstructions.
Right. But in your mind, the fact that they have some similarities indicates a relationship,
It's not just the fact that they're similarities, they're homologies.
Okay, they're homologies. So would the fact that we have two bones in our forelimb and the bat has two bones in his wing, in the forearm, radius and ulna, is that also evidence for evolution?
Yes, it is.
It is.
Because the radius and ulna are present in Sarcopterygian fish.
Right. Now, could the fact that Fords and Chevys and Toyotas all have four wheels and steering wheel on the left and windshields on the front, is that proof that they all evolved from a skateboard?
No, because
they don't reproduce.
Exactly.
Right.
But, of course, the whole homology argument is not going to always be universally true, because you couldn't have always had ancestors with four extremities. It had to change somewhere where, one generation of offspring was different than the ancestor.
And why didn't they ever go to three? Why did they go straight from 2 to 4?
Well, there's, different creatures like Acanthostegus who had, 5 to 8 fingers on their arms?
Acanthostegus had 8.
Is it 8? Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about 3 legs. Where are the three-legged?
Because there's limitations from the embryological development that imposes bilateral symmetry to begin with, which is why you're never going to get 3. Okay,
now, the radio listeners can't see this, but we have in front of me the pictures you sent. Pakicetus with a large distance from the crown of the head down to the nostril, and a very short distance from the nostril to the tip of the snout. And then the Rhodocetus, which has, the nostril has moved back a little bit. The Durodon, where it has moved back, 40% of the way. And then the Orca, where it's moved back 90% of the way to the top of the head. Probably even close to 100%.
No, I'd say it's closer to 90%.
Okay. Now,
maybe not even that much.
I didn't get time to get the pictures together, Jared, but we're going to get a picture of a Volkswagen van, which has straight nose, okay?
It has no relevance to anything.
A Chevy van, and then a Ford van, and then a minivan, and then a Lincoln, the Dodge Viper, and we're going to end up with a dragster with a really, really long hood.
Kent, this is very funny, but it really has nothing to do with anything.
It has everything to do with it. Just like with these cars don't reproduce, you can't prove any of these animals you're showing me reproduced different offspring. Every animal produces the same kind. That is human observation for 6,000 years.
Yeah, because in 6,000 years, you don't see speciation events on this magnitude.
That's why it changes to religion, Jared.
That's not religion, that's inference. There's a huge difference between religion and inference. I don't understand why you continue to say that fallacious argument, like going from science to religion.
For all the people out there who are wondering what picture is the topic of all this debate right now, I just got it on a shorter URL for everyone who couldn't figure out the last one. It's now on christiandudesonline.org/whales.jpg.
Oh, nice.
One more time, Jonathan.
Christian Dudes, which is my own website, christiandudesonline.org/whales.jpg.
If they go there, they'll see the 4 pictures Jared sent us.
Yeah, they'll see what you guys are actually talking about right now.
And somebody else can instant message us your opinion on this. Does this prove a relationship, the fact that you can line up these animals in this order?
I've never claimed that it proved anything. It's evidence for it.
It's evidence for. Okay. Could it be evidence for the wide variety available within the Creator's ability to create, pretty bizarre variations?
Well, that would certainly be consistent with that, but I don't see how it would be evidence for that.
Okay. So either view could view this, either position could view this as evidence for their side.
This specific thing, yes. But whenever you put this into the context of the rest of evolutionary theory, it becomes much more powerful and convincing.
Okay, now, when I asked Dr. Figliucci, who's a UT Knoxville professor of botany,
yep,
what the best evidence he knew of for evolution was, he said the evolution of whales.
Yes, he did, and I would contest that, actually.
That's what you sent us.
It is. I don't think it's the best example. I was just curious what you would say about this specific thing. If I really wanted to push this kind of issue, well, actually, the most convincing, I would say, would be either this or the progression from theropod dinosaurs to birds, or the progression from sarcopterygian fish to early tetrapods. I think those three are probably the best. I don't know if I would say whales are the best, because there's issues with the cladistics involved, because these things are not directly ancestral, and in the case of like theropod to bird, for instance, it's closer to being directly ancestral.
But yesterday, I hate to jump in here, but yesterday I asked a question. I don't know if it was answered, so I guess I'll just ask it again. And Jared, you agreed with me that Pakicetus was, I guess, inferred to be an ancestor of orca and all that type of stuff because of the inner ear, right?
Closely related to an ancestor.
Yeah, or
if not the ancestor, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, would we really expect the inner ear to remain, stasis and pretty much unevolved for that long of a time?
First of all, I don't think that it remained unevolved that amount of time. In fact, there were highly adapted specializations
if we look
in the inner ear.
You've got enough time for the nasal cavity to move from the front of the face up to the top of the head.
Yep.
You've got enough time you look at the different jaws to become more streamlined and thinner and durodon and so forth. You've got enough time for the back legs to completely disappear. You've got enough time for the front legs to diminish and the backbone and rib cage to completely, change morphologically.
Right.
And yet the inner ear remains practically untouched.
No, I don't think that's true, actually.
Well, that's what the articles say. You can look at 83 writings of Gingrich, who says that the inner ear resembled that of a modern-day whales, which is why they loved it.
I'm not going to let you get away with this. Okay?
I'm not trying to get away with anything. I'm just asking your opinion.
Listen, dude. There was features of the inner ear which are only found in modern whales. Among living animals, that's the only place we find that character. What he found in Pakicetus was something that was closer to that than had ever been seen before in the fossil record.
He said he resembled it.
Yes, but it has changed. I've read about this. It did change from Pakicetus to orca.
But what is the degree of change?
Significant.
Oh, well, I'd like to see where you read that then.
Well, you can go research it yourself. I don't have the monographs right in front of me to give you the information. I'm just telling you that it did not remain in stasis for all that time.
But it was enough similar to modern-day whales for them to look at it and say, that looks like a whale.
Yes, because whales are highly derived.
So it didn't change a whole lot.
Well, I have one facetious comment and one serious comment. The Frisbees we have here at Dinosaur Adventureland Frisbee Golf greatly resemble the original Volkswagen hubcaps I had. That proves something somewhere. Now, seriously, Jared, you would agree, I would assume, I don't know how much anatomy you've had, that in order for a creature to hear in the air, it requires slightly different type of ear than those that hear underwater most of the time.
Yes, it does.
Right.
Okay. That's part of why.
Right.
I know.
Right. I understand. That's the point.
Yeah.
So, are there any animals that are able to hear equally well in air or in water?
Oh, I don't know the answer to that question.
I don't either. I'm just curious. I didn't know if I was hoping you might know that.
If you guys look at the lecture, The Hearing Ear by Dr. David Minton, he goes through and explains the actual physiology and anatomy of the inner ear and how birds actually hear a lot better than we do. They actually have a little bit less and very much more simplified connection in the inner ear. Of course, ours has to go, I think, from bone to liquid to bone, and then to the nerve itself or something like that. So he actually goes through and explains the inner ear workings and why we can't hear very well underwater because of the impedance and so forth. So that's a pretty cool video right there.
David Minton teaches at Washington University, which is near St. Louis.
Yeah, he's an anatomist and cell biologist.
And he lectures now quite a bit. He still teaches, I believe, but he lectures quite a bit for Answers in Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
So let me get to the final point about the whales, because I wanted to move on to the theropod dinosaur connection.
If you can, also, can you send me those 3 links again?
I can run back to my office on the next break. Okay. So the Durodon orca thing, you think those are separate kinds, right?
Well, again, all we're seeing is the bones, and I think it would take a whole lot more than that to really determine it. I think you'd find more similarities between the Tasmanian wolf and the American wolf than you would between these two. A lot more similarities.